Hey everybody, it's Sam Utari here, and welcome back to another Legend of the Green Dragon. Now, it sucks that I had some issues, obviously, with my old account, which not like my old account, but the one I made for these videos, the Sam Utari one. When you're level 1, you're given 10 days of non-activity before your character is deleted, and then you get 20 days after level 2, or yeah, and then like after level 3 it's like 50, it's like 120 days, something like that. Yeah, it's like 120 days or something. And so I was going to show you the Isle of Wen, and I might have to get to that, and I guess in another episode or whatever, but I can basically explain it. The Isle of Wen, like I was explaining in the last video, is it's your tutorial. It is your tutorial village where basically they teach you how to do everything as far as like weapons, armor, how to buy them, blah 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 blah, and saving your money in the bank, and etc etc. And the thing is these are all rules that I don't have to really teach you about, or I don't have to show you the Isle of Wen to teach you about it. But it just kind of did make it easier to kind of show you where everything was, because obviously, having played since I was like 13 years old, I'm not on the Isle of Wen anymore. Last time we covered the MOTD, the message of the day, your ye olde mail, petitioning for help, etc. And I covered this whole side area. As you can see, I'm actually on my main account, which is Counselor of Magic Element Gold. It says I'm only level 6, and that's true because on this dragon kill, I just started it. I have 26 turns, and I have a really high attack and whatnot, and currently my weapons and armor are level 11. God, this is a lot harder to explain. See, my spirits are very low, and I have 26 turns because every time you kill a dragon, you get points to spend. You get 1 attribute point that you can put on your health, forest fights, attack, or defense. And I put a lot of mine into my forest fights, and I put a couple into my health points, and then mostly into my defense and then my attack. But I put a lot of points into my forest fights because the more turns you have, the quicker you can gain levels, and then the more dragons you can kill, and etc. And it's kind of like, yeah. And my current title is Counselor of Magic. I did pay money to color my name, like real money, to color my name. It's $3, I believe, like $3 US to color your name. I also paid money so I could get a custom weapon, which is my Goddess Blade, and I also paid money to name my creature, name my mount, which you can't do normally. I did pay money to name it and have the name colored as well. Currently, I am a feline, which is a race that you can only unlock after your first dragon kill, and it means I find gems a lot quicker. As you can see, I have 181. My creature is a nightmare, which was at first it was only like a special limited edition thing for Halloween one year. Basically the nightmare steed. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good companion, and the more when you die, you get sent to this underworld thing. You basically get sent to the Land of Shades, is what it's called, and the more favor you gain by killing things, the more powerful this creature is. So let's go ahead and continue. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Girlfriend was on the line, and so I had to answer that. So, alright, so let's go ahead and explain some things. Alright, so this is this is what a normal town basically looks like, and, honestly, it doesn't look too different from the Isle of Wen. The only thing is that there's a lot more options, there's a lot more things you can do. Obviously, I'll go through all these, like, I've been through all these with you before, but let's go ahead and just reiterate. The forest is where you go to kill monsters in order to gain experience so that you can level up. Slaying other players is the PvP. You can only slay players that that logged out in that city. So it's like if I'm in Romar and I log out, automatically I show up in this area when someone goes to slay other players because I recently logged out in Romar. So you'll have different people that have logged out in Romar, Glorfindel, Kexelkrag, and Gluckmore. You know, so you just you keep going to the other cities to see who logged out and who's within your killing range. Quit to the fields is of course logging out. Traveling. When you click travel, it gives you a list of all the cities. Romar is home to the felines and the humans. Kexelkrag is home to the storm giants, a race that only you can buy with real money. Kexelkrag is home to the dwarves and storm giants. Gluckmore is home of the trolls. Glorfindel is home of the elves. And then you have Diegelberg, which is the main. It's called the capital city, and it's because, of course, it's in the center. It's where all the towns kind of combined. Blue Springs warrior training. Whenever your experience bar is full, you go here in order to challenge your master. Like I explained it in Pokemon terms last time. It's kind of like going and battling the gym leader, and then once you win against your master, your level goes up. You cannot challenge your master until your experience bar is full. It will not let you. JCP's Hunter's Lodge. This is where you basically buy things with real money. Like after you've donated money to the game, you get these points. You get these reference points is what they're called. And once you have reference points, you can go inside JCP's Hunter Lodge and you can buy buffs and anything else that you really want to buy as long as you have enough points for it. Then you have special places that do different things, like Tynan's Gym, the Gypsy Tent, Saucy's Kitchen, like all of those are extra places. Tynan's Gym is basically where you allow one area of your character to sacrifice, like you take from your defense to put it into your attack, or you take from your attack to put it into your defense, or you take from this to put into that, and blah, 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 blah. You know, that's basically what that is. It's a strategy thing that I never use. The Gypsy Tent, there's a lot of things that the Gypsy Tent does. You can pay 10 gems to see where the dragon is, because whenever you get to level 15, whenever you're ready to kill the dragon can be in any of the cities, and you only get to search, like, three cities a day. And so, like, say the dragon's in Gluckmore, and I search in Glorfindel, Romar, and Kexelkrag. Say I search those 3 cities, and then when I go to Gluckmore finally, knowing that the dragon's in Gluckmore, I can't fight it because I've already searched in 3 cities. If that makes any sense. So if you spend 10 gems, the gypsy will be like, the gypsy will look at a random town, and it'll basically show you or tell you if there's any smoke that can be seen, or if people can be seen running around on fire or whatever. That'll basically tell you whether or not the dragon is in that town. And the thing is if you can at least know that the dragon's not in one city, there's a good chance you're going to find it, obviously. And so it helps. Saucy's Kitchen is a place where you go and you buy food, and sometimes the food's really good, and it helps you by giving you a buff, and sometimes the food is really bad. You get food poisoning, and it makes your stats go down. I don't really dabble in all the extra things, because I don't like to take the chances. Okay, Mighty's Weaponry is where you buy weapons. The thing is your weapon level goes up when you buy a new weapon. So if you're a level 1 and you have a level 1 weapon, that's great. But once you get to level 2, you're going to need a level 2 weapon, which means you need to buy it, because your weapons don't level up with you. You have to buy them. Same with the armor. Your armor does not level up with you, so if you're level 3, you need a level 3 armor, and so on and so forth, especially to defeat your masters. Ye Olde Bank is where you deposit and withdraw money, obviously. It's your bank. Before you log out of the game every day, make sure you are depositing your gold into this bank. Because the thing is if you log out and then someone comes in and kills you, they get all your money. Doesn't matter. If you have like 3 million, which isn't really possible, but if you have like 3 million gold pieces you've saved up forever, and suddenly you forget to put it into your bank and you log out, well, the person that kills you, which guaranteed you will probably be killed unless you turn off your PvP, that 3 million gold, adios, sayonara, it's gone. Already explained the Gypsy Tent, already explained Saucy's Kitchen. Berthold's Bestiary, there are only 2 bestiaries. There's one in Romar and one in Diegelberg. And the thing is this is where you buy pets and mounts. And there's obviously a difference between pets and mounts. Pets are usually not as strong. Mounts are stronger. They have more power to them. And then you have special things like the Nightmare Steed. And then you also have summoning, and which is like you can summon a Valkyrie, I think. The only thing about pets and creatures or whatever in general is you can only have one. So you gotta choose wisely. And every pet does something different. Every creature does something different. Like a horse will come up and like kick the opponent every so many turns. A Valkyrie will deal multiple dagger wounds in one turn. It kind of works similar to a Skeleton Crew, which I'll show you. And so each pet or creature is different, and so make sure you're making the right choice. And just try out a bunch of different creatures to see which one works for your character and works best for you. So the gardens. The gardens is where you go to chat. It kind of looks like this section right here, but it's not just talking. It's epic role playing, and this is where you really get into your character, kind of lose yourself into this illusion, into this fantasy world. You do all your role playing in the gardens. The clan halls. I explained the clans briefly in the last video, how blue means you're the member of something, white means you're the leader, and yellow, which isn't here in this list, means you're an officer of your clan. And I actually own a clan. It's called the Lupus Clan. It's very small, but I love it. And I actually joined as a member and had to work up in the ranks in order to get leader. Now, you don't get any buffs for being in a clan, but it's nice to have a clan so that you can talk to people, and each clan has its own history, has its own storyline, and so it helps build your character as well. The thing I wanted to go over today, like I said, usually whenever you start this game, you are not allowed to post until you go over the FAQ. Even though you will have to read the FAQ whenever you begin, I wanted to kind of go over some things and maybe explain something to you. So, if you are not a new player and suddenly have read text telling you to read this before you can post, it may be because you need to read the MOTD and you annoyed a staff member. So read the MOTD, thank you. Welcome to the Legend of the Green Dragon. And this kind of gives you a backstory of it. And it goes, you wake up one day and you're in a village for some reason. You wander around, bemused, until you stumble upon the main village square. Once you're there, you start asking lots of stupid questions. People, who are mostly naked for some reason, I'll explain that too, throw things at you. You escape by ducking into a nearby building and find a rack of pamphlets by the door. The title of the pamphlet reads, Everything You Wanted to Know About the LotGD, but Were Afraid to Ask. Looking furtively around to make sure nobody's watching, you open up one and read, So, you're a newbie. Welcome to the club. Here will you find answers to the questions that plague you. Well, actually, you will find answers to the questions that plagued us. So here, read them, learn, and leave us alone. Thank you, the management. And, okay, so, the naked thing. Whenever you buy a weapon or armor, or whenever you buy armor, the thing is the armor is usually really stupid. It's usually like a shield or a pair of slippers or something, and it's really, really stupid. And the text, if you read it, basically says, won't I look silly just walking around with nothing but slippers? So basically every time you sell an armor and you put on a new one, basically, in theory, people are walking around with butt-ass naked with just slippers on. And this is like the whole joke of it, really. I mean, obviously no one really role plays that out, so I don't know, we will, and I'm waiting for the day that someone does, like, oh, look at my new slippers, I would so totally show them, I would so totally brag about them if I could see it over my dick, or something, like, I'm waiting for the day that someone does something like that in an appropriate manner, because this is a family-friendly website, which means that they don't want you to curse a lot, obviously no talking about sex, no explicit role-playing, which means no sex, no giving birth in the gardens, and etc. Anyways, back to the FAQ. When you open up the FAQ, it has a new player primer, frequently asked questions on gameplay, general gameplay with spoilers, technical issues, multiple villages, customs on this server. So today I'm just going to go over the new player primer and the customs on this server. The rest I'm going to leave to you in order to read on your own, obviously, if you ever join. So, customs on this server. Rule on this service. Our server. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the classic server located at LotGD.net. While you're here, there's a few customs that we, the staff, hope players will be aware of and abide by. These customs are in place to keep the playing experience enjoyable for most, not all, unfortunately, since we can't please everybody, of the people who come across our little realm on the internet. Follow them and we will have a good time. Without further ado, here they are. 1. Don't be a jerk. Okay, first of all, when they say don't be a jerk, they're not saying your character cannot be a jerk. If you literally, OOC, out of character wise, just don't be an asshole. Be, how do I explain? If your character gets hurt in a role play, don't bitch about it. You know, it happened, your character, you're in control of your character. If you don't want your character to die, your character doesn't have to die. There are ways to get out of it via role play. But if you kill off your character and then someone gets mad at you because suddenly your character's back alive and kicking for no good reason with no explanation, don't sit there and whine about it. Don't be a jerk to other people. Don't sit there and tell people that their role playing is bad. Don't sit there and point the finger in their face and go, noob. You know, don't be an asshole. If someone needs help, you help them. If someone's doing something wrong, you correct them, but in a nice and polite manner. You handle this all civil-like. Unfortunately, there are a lot of experienced players that do not do this, and you'll meet them, obviously, if you ever come here. And so, yeah, this rule should apply to everybody, but unfortunately it does not, because some people think that they're better than the rules. No circumventing the language filter. Anyways, we can skip that one. That one explained itself. Don't give away game secrets. This is a game of exploration, so don't spoil it for everyone. If it's covered in the FAQ, it's free knowledge, of course, as well as a few obvious things that were added since the FAQ was written. Okay, the thing is I'm technically not playing right now, so me giving away game secrets to you is not as big of a deal. It's actually my way of helping you, because unfortunately, while this is a game of exploration, a lot of people on the site have no patience for people to explore. So, like, posting emotes and, like, colors of names and whatever, when people see a new people, or when people on here see a new person trying to type and mess up posts, they kind of roll their eyes and they're like, ugh. So the thing is, while this is a game of exploration, a lot of people on here are not patient. And they've played the game for so long that they feel like everybody should automatically know it. So the reason I'm making these is because, one, it's my favorite game of all time, and I'd love to see more people playing it. And two, it's just because I know that these older people have no patience for the newer people, and I'd like you to be experienced as possible before coming in here so that you don't run into trouble and you don't run into all the issues that I did as a new player. People of all ages play here, so keep that in mind. Like I said, you know, as far as rule number 4, it's a family-friendly website. There are children that do occasionally join the website, and they're like, oh my god, hi, I'm like 13, or I'm like 15, or whatever, and like, yay, hey, what's up? You know, and then, yeah, and I guess role-playing some things will just totally just scar their innocent minds. And so you do have to keep in mind that there are younger people playing, which means try not to curse, try not to make everything all bloody, gory, messy, gross, and definitely no sex. Especially in public places. Tip of the day. Rule number 5. Since you've read the rest of the FAQ, up to this point, there's no need to repeat the part about no chat speak. True. There's no chat speak in LotGD. The thing is this is a ye olde day roleplay, which means this is like old time, and there was no YOLO or LOL or LMFAO or any of that. So if you are talking and if you laugh, say haha or something. You know, make your character laugh. Someone laughs. Yeah, that was a great joke. Thanks. You know, like Element Gold laughs at so and so. Oh, please tell me another one. You know, kind of thing. No chat speak. No Element Gold lols, like none of that. And not only is there no chat speak, but they're not really fond of smileys either. So no using smileys, no winky faces with the tongue sticking out, like no smileys, because that actually goes along with chat speak. It's considered chat room behavior. Number 6, play along with the story at the top of the page. Only role-playing in the gardens, only beta stuff in the beta pavilion, and others are mostly general. Okay, so yeah, basically every town has a different purpose. And like in Gluckmore, it says here you talk with people about your other favorite servers because LOTGD has a lot of sister sites and has a lot of knockoffs, and so you can actually talk about other servers that you play on. And actually, people from this game that have liked this game enough have bought their own servers. I had a server called Solar Flare, for a while, and I actually had it for a couple of years before it got shut down because we couldn't afford the payments for it because we were just kids and we didn't have a steady source of income. And yeah, so I had my own server called Solar Flare that I worked on and ran and etc. And it wasn't very popular, but if I went to Gluckmore, I would tell everybody about, Solar Flare or about Legend of Bleach or Legend of Naruto or what is it? Shinobi Legends. There we go. Shinobi Legends or Legend of Bleach, which are based on Naruto and then Bleach. They have those as well. Just different things. So that's where you would talk about it, is in Gluckmore. And with Diegelberg, it says here's where you talk about this. And Romar, it says here's where you talk about this. So that's what they mean with play along with the story at the top of the page. So number 7, you may have more than one character, but they shouldn't interact. Don't attack each other, talk to each other, place bounties on each other, or refer your own alts. That sort of cheating is just in bad taste. If you share a computer with another player, we will assume there is only one person at the keyboard. And that's what I said. You can actually have mules, and I believe that's why Samutari actually got deleted, because I mailed Element Gold and was like, hey, it's me, yourself, ha. So I think that's why Samutari might have gotten deleted, because I don't think it's been 10 days since I started playing. But we'll see what it was. I'll ask Mod later or something. But yeah, so if you do have multiple characters, which I do, obviously Element Gold and Erse wouldn't be able to talk to each other, even though they're the same person. Same with Allura and Element Gold they're not allowed to talk, and Allura and Erse can't talk, and, etc., etc. And Taranse and Erse can't talk. Like, even though Taranse is Erse's daughter, they're technically not allowed to interact in the same setting, even if it's for storyline purposes. Now, occasionally you can ask if your characters can interact for a brief period of time for development purposes, but honestly, most of the time you're going to get a no, because it is breaking the rules. Rule number 8, listen to the admins and other staff. If you don't, you are risking your access to the game. There used to be a joke that not really a joke, but it was just a thing where the moderators and etc., they carried around a band stick and a mute stick. And so that was the big thing, is that they had those band sticks and mute sticks and etc. And that's what they used to basically suspend people that didn't behave. Because if you are breaking the rules in a big amount, you will be banned in no time, because there's always someone on. That's about it for the summary. All of the staff can delete comments, so if one of your posts disappears, consider it a warning. The answers to most questions not covered in the FAQ can be found by clicking this link, which probably leads to the forums. And once again, welcome and good luck in your quest, whatever that might be, for the contents. So, and I've been logged out, so I'm going to click this. I waited too long. Foot to the Fields, Legend of the Green Dragon, Element Gold, go. Okay. And I was going to cover the new player primer, but I don't think it's really... I'm going to look it over real quick, but I don't think it's really necessary. Let's see, new player primer. It's pretty long, so we're just going to try and cover it really quickly. Welcome to the Legend of the Green Dragon, new player primer. The Village Square. Legend of the Green Dragon, LOTGD, is turning out to be a fairly expansive game, with lots of areas to explore. It's easy to get lost with all that there is to do out there, so keep in mind that the Village Square is pretty much the center of the village you start in. This area will give you access to most other areas that you can get to, with a few exceptions. We'll talk about those in a little while. If ever you get lost or are not sure what's going on, head to the Village Square and regain your bearings. Your first day. Your first day in the world can be very confusing. You're presented with a lot of information, and you don't need almost any of it. It's true. One thing you should probably keep an eye on, though, are your hit points. This is found under Vital Info. No matter what profession you choose, in the end, you are some kind of warrior or fighter, so you need to learn how to do battle. The best way to do this is to look for creatures to kill in the forest. When you find one, check it out, and make sure that it's not a higher level than you, because if it is, you might not live through the fight. Keep in mind that you can always try and run away from something that you encountered, but sometimes it might take several tries before you can get away. You might want to buy armor and weapons in the village square in order to give yourself a better chance against these creatures out in the forest. Once you have defeated a creature, you'll notice that you're probably a little hurt. Head on over to the healer's hut, and you can get patched up in a short order. While you're level 1, healing is free, but as you advance, it becomes more and more expensive. Also keep in mind that it's more expensive to heal 1 point later, or more expensive to heal 1 point, then later heal 1 point again, and than it is to heal 2 in one shot. So if you're trying to save up some money and you're barely hurt, you might want to risk a fight or two while you're a little hurt and heal the damage from several fights in one shot. After you've killed a few creatures, you should head back to the village into Blue Springs warrior training and talk to your master. Your master will tell you when you are ready to challenge him, or you just look at your experience bar, which will turn blue. And when you are ready, you should give him a shot. Make sure you're healed up first, though. Your master won't kill you if you lose. Instead, he'll give you a complimentary healing potion and send you on your way. Death. Death is a natural part of any game that contains some kind of combat. In Legend of the Green Dragon, being dead is only a temporary condition. When you die, you'll lose any money that you had on hand. Money in the bank is safe. And some of the experience you've accumulated. While you're dead, you can explore the Land of Shades and the graveyard. In the graveyard, you'll find Ramius, the Overlord of Death. He has certain things that he would like you to do for him, and in return he may grant you special powers or favors. The graveyard is one of those areas that you can't get to from the main square. In fact, while you're dead, you can't go to the village square at all. Unless you can convince Ramius to resurrect you, you'll remain dead until the next game day. And then, like I explained in the last video, there are 2 game days each real day. These occur when the clock in the village square reaches midnight. As stated above, there are 2 game days each real day. These occur when the clock in the village square reaches midnight. When you get a new day, you'll be granted new forest fights, interest on gold you have in the bank if the bankers are pleased with your performance, and a lot of your other statistics will be refreshed. You'll also be resurrected if you are dead, and you get another chance to take on the world. If you don't log in over the course of an entire game day, you'll miss your opportunity to partake in the game day. Blah, 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 blah. PvP. Legend of the Green Dragon contains a PvP element where players can attack each other. As a new player, you are protected from PvP for your first 5 game days, or until you accumulate 1500 experience, unless you choose to attack another player. Some servers might have the PvP aspect turned off, in which case there is no chance that you'll be attacked by any other players. You can tell if the server you play on has PvP turned off by looking in the village square for slay other players. If it's not there, you can't engage or be engaged in PvP. When you are attacked and die in PvP, you only lose gold you had on hand and 5% of your experience. You won't lose any turns in the forest or any other stats. If you attack someone else in PvP, you'll get 10% of the experience they had and any gold they had on hand. If you attack someone else and lose, however, you'll lose 15% of your experience, which is a bitch, by the way, to get back. And they lose... Where did I just lost my place. Oh, yeah, 15% of your experience, and you lose any gold that you had on hand. If someone else attacks you and they lose, you'll gain the gold that they had on hand and 10% of their experience. You can only attack someone who is close to your level, so don't worry that as a level 1 some big level 15 player is going to come along and beat on you. The only thing is like, if you're level 1 and you see another level 1 and you're like, I'm gonna go kill them, make sure that you check their title, because title will tell you how many dragon kills they have, and obviously if they have a lot of dragon kills, then you're probably not going to do a very good job at trying to kill them because their stats are raised and they're better than you. No offense. Same if they have a colored name. If they have a colored name, they're an experienced player. They might have bought some other buffs that you don't know about, like bought a ridiculous amount of like HP or something, and good luck with that too. So it's usually just safe to say that until you are more accustomed with the game and you know how everything works, just don't attack anybody. If you buy a room in the inn when you decide to quit the game, you'll protect yourself somewhat from casual attacking. The only way for someone to attack you when you're in the inn is for them to bribe the bartender, which can be a costly procedure. Quitting to the fields means that someone can attack you without having to pay money or gems to the bartender. You cannot be attacked while you are online, only while you are offline, so the more you play, the more protected you are. Also, if you are attacked and died, no one else can attack you again until you log on again, so don't worry that you'll be attacked 30 or 40 times in one night. Logging back into the game will make you a visible PvP target again if you've already been killed that day. Ready to take on the world. You should now have a pretty good idea how the basics of the game work, how to advance, and how to protect yourself. There's a whole lot more to the world, so explore it. Don't be afraid of dying, particularly when you are young, as even when you're dead, there's yet more stuff to do. And that's true. And the thing is, when it comes to the role-playing aspect, while in the game, death is a temporary condition, if you're role-playing, death is not a temporary condition. If your character dies in a role-play, they are supposed to remain dead unless you have some great way for them to resurrect your body. Like, I know one guy came back as a robot, a soul basically in a robot, did a whole Full Metal Alchemist thing. I know that Smeagol, which isn't a very popular character on here, but he role plays as my character's husband. Smeagol, he was dead for the longest time, and a witch brought him back and whatnot, and he has a slight amnesia, but they found a way for his body to come back, and etc. I didn't really get to see it, but I wasn't there for it, but I guess he had some elaborate plan for it. And yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind. Anyways, this has been Sam Utari. I'm sorry that this whole Legend of the Green Dragon thing isn't very fascinating yet. I haven't gotten to the good parts. I'm just trying to cover the basics so we can get that out of the way. Next video, I'm hoping to show you armors, weapons, and forest fights. And I think once I cover that, then we can actually start getting into the role-playing aspect of it. And I can kind of show you like the clan halls and the gardens and show you what I really love about this game. And I might even go so far as to show you the Facebook group, the Garden Dwellers, which is where all the LotGD main people are, and in one big group, and they discuss role-playing plots and etc. So I think this will be a good thing. I think this will be a fun thing, but we have to get through all the boring stuff first. So this has been Sam Utari out. Thank you for tuning in to watching me explain Legend of the Green Dragon. Hit like if you want to see more, and if you're thinking about joining this game, maybe possibly, yes. And also subscribe to me so you can see whenever I'm putting up new videos, so that you can watch more of my beautiful face. Also, go ahead and connect with me online. I'm always writing in my blog, so that way you know what I'm doing, what I'm recording, what should be up next. And, yeah, lastly, just have a nice day, honestly. Anyways, this has been Sam Utari, and thank you for tuning in, and have a nice day, everybody, and I will talk to you